Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. My name is Rabenschild. Today I have to say sorry for building something without involving you or not showing it to you. I didn't have a lot of time. I told you, new job. I immediately got late shifts, and so I'm coming home. And then I usually just play a bit and then I have to go to bed. But again, that hopefully will change. I had a bit of a thing, or Dr. Dalek Hunter in my comments said maybe build escape pods for the ship. And Snapped Pixel said something about that too. And so I think the last time I said that escape pods are a good idea, and I built something like that. It's a bit complicated and tends to be not as smooth as I would like it to be, but let us take a look at what we have here. So we have this here. This is an escape pod for the ship. It's not perfect yet. That can change. I hope that some of you have comments on that and maybe can give me tips. The last time, by the way, I got a nice tip for someone posted a link to a video from Rivian, I think, because I mentioned that maybe having a tram or something like that goes through the ship and can transport me from the back to the front or something like that. That would be nice. And then someone came and said, here, Rivian did this, and the idea is really, really nice. And even intended, the intention for the whole thing even is having it inside of ships. Although I can't really go with the name that Rivian decided on how to call it. But yeah, back to the original thing here. This design is, again, it's not perfect, but I have a capsule here that in itself is pretty self-contained. So there's a cockpit, so you will still have to have oxygen bottles and all that stuff, but in itself it's a spaceship, so you can be thrown out of the ship and then fly away from it. It has normal there's normal iron thrusters. I'm not good today. My head is completely mushed and I don't really know why, but it has normal iron thrusters, so planetary landings. We could try to bring in some parachutes. Maybe that helps, but there's not a lot of space in the whole thing. We will maneuver this thing out here and we will see how this would work. And then I can tell you more about how I managed to build this and how it works. That we can't see it at the moment, but this whole thing at the moment is sealed. That's one thing that I wanted to have. So as long as this thing is docked into the ship, it's sealed and we should be able to see it. Let me press a button. At the moment it's not sealed because I didn't press the button, but there should be. Hello? Come on. Oh no, that's so dumb. Okay, let us bring this thing out of here. I hope that works right now. Good. We have a normal cockpit here. It is connected via a merge block to the big ship. And then we can turn on a mass block We leave off the thrusters. You can see that down there. We could close the door. That's the door that's behind the cockpit. I wanted to work with, normally I wanted it to work with one of these control seats, but I needed the cockpit to hold the whole ship together, basically. Okay, if we now press this button, you can see that we are getting slowly pushed out of the ship. It works with this mass block. I don't trust this thing to go really fast out of that thing, because it wobbles, and this would break the whole thing. I will make tests if I can shoot it out faster with maybe another generator on top of the whole thing, and then maybe it gets pushed out faster. But at the moment it just gets pushed out by the normal gravity generators. Okay, let us turn on the thrusters. It works on batteries. You can see that we have 5 years of battery power left, as long as we don't move the whole thing. Good. You can see this capsule design. I went with the rounded blocks, at least on top and here, because the rounded blocks don't merge to the ship, and that's one of the struggles I had. Here we have a ring of normal blocks and thrusters, so that in a second we can seal the whole thing. We have the front and the back. Normally, I think we could maybe turn the cockpit and then have one of the two thruster things as the front and the back, but it's an escape pod, so it's normally not here to fly or something like that. Yeah, we have a bit of space left, so if the parachutes don't merge, we could maybe try to put some parachutes on top of here, but again, I didn't test that yet. That will come later. This is a big prototype. I don't know, prototype 5 or so, because first I tried it with these blocks. How are they called? Blast door edges or blast door blocks, and these things merge. So that's one thing I didn't know, that these things merge to the ship. So I merged it with this block on top. The thrusters completely ignored that, but the blast door blocks, for some reason, and we can take a look at this. See that? You can put a block on there, and that makes them mergeable. So these blocks make contact, and then they merge as if it was a normal block. These blocks do it too, but this block has no contact to any walls. These blocks don't do it, and that's why I have a ring of the rounded and the slope blocks here, because these again don't merge. So that's a good thing. That's how I could realize that I could unmerge it and then it gets thrown out. So in this, in the bottom of the ship, we have this. How's that called? These connection ports? I don't know, but we have the. Why doesn't it work? Let me see what we have in here. It's the drop pod one door. Oh no, not on off. I'm so. We need open closed. This works better now. So, and see that these are the hangar doors that then attach to these blocks, and then it is sealed, and that is nice, because that's what we want. We will bring in another hangar door here, so that we can close this off, basically, when one of the pods is dropped out, So we would maybe put in a timer block or something like that that activates on button press, so that we can enter this thing and then press a button or something like that, or press the button, jump into the capsule, go into the cockpit, and then have maybe a timer block that first closes the door behind you, then opens these doors, for example. Again, at the moment, everything is in the prototype stage. So for now, we would have to do it all on single button presses. So let me open this again so that we later can bring the capsule in. That's the good thing. We can just bring the capsule in again and then it works again. I still have these blocks here, although I could go with maybe normal armor blocks, but these blocks tend to not damage the blocks on the escape pod as much. That's a good thing, but again, they merge. That makes it a bit problematic. So I kind of like it, and for this, by the way, the reason why I went with the big blocks, I could have used small blocks, is that I wanted it to be able to be sealed. That's why I went with the big blocks. We have a cargo container on here, so we can store stuff in there, maybe put some weapons, some tools in there, the mass block. And again, at the moment, we run with the normal gravity of the ship. So the 1G of the whole ship here just pushes it out, and we would maybe put in another gravity generator above here, although there's no real above, because the hangar, this is basically the floor of the hangar, and maybe we have to change it out later, because I'm thinking about putting heavy armor blocks down in the hangar, just because I don't want to ruin the blocks or the floor of the hangar with maybe thrusters or something like that. So that could happen, but that's not a problem. Maybe I should even just change it out, even if I don't need it for the hangar. But these these things, these thrusters, when I come into the ship, also might do a bit of damage. I have to be careful. So I have another one of these planned for this area, and then it's enough. So I will not put in 30 capsules for, I don't know, an assumed crew or something. I said that in the comments to I don't know, to Dr. Dalek Hunter or something like that, that this is not for aesthetics. It's just a nice project we can use to have a nice engineering project. I don't have a lot of these, and usually I'm not the guy to have all the complicated, crazy machinery. This is the first for this world, I would say. You can see it fits in there. You see all these particle effects. I'm not sure if that's right, but there is definitely damage being done. I hope that... Come on, where is the... So, at one point it starts to right itself, and then we merge it, come on. And then it snaps into place. So that's nice. Now let's turn off the thrusters of the escape pod so that the escape pod doesn't do any damage and doesn't wear the ship off course. And it also saves up the energy. That's a good thing. What do you say for this? I kind of like it. Again, it's just a small project to have something like that. I like it. Again, we could do it with, I'm sure there's ways to do it with small blocks, and then we could have more of them. But I kind of like it how it is right now. And just to show the aesthetic of the whole thing, that's what we see from the escape pods at the moment below the ship. It's that's why I said it's not the most aesthetically pleasing thing, but with for example hangar doors, we couldn't really close this off or something like that. The ship might be too big, and the size of the ship at the moment makes it so that I can only have it flush with the bottom like this. Otherwise it would stick out crazy, and I can't bring it up more because then it sits in the hangar, and that's not what I want. The hangar floor should be flush, although it's a bit off to the side, so it's somewhere down here or so. But I don't yet know if I need all this space, and I might need all this space if I have some smaller ships in here or something like that. So that's why I decided that it goes in like this. And yeah, again, we can then just close it off and even have it sealed. That's one of the main goals I had. I wanted it to be able to just seal. Can we see it? Come on. These hangar doors are very, very slow. Yes, and now it's sealed. Nice. I had built a room around this and tested it that way, so that works out. Good. People, I think that's all for today. I wanted to show this off to you. There might be people that had better ideas, but I didn't look up anything, so this is just me having figured this out. If there's any tips you have, then let me know, and maybe we can improve on this and, don't know, make it smaller or something like this, and that could work out, and it would be nice. But on the other hand, I think this is good for now, and I'm a bit proud of myself that I was able to at one point figure out this whole shebang with these blocks and be angry about them fusing with the ship and not being able to just release the merge block and let it fall and all that stuff. So that was a bit of work that I've put my evenings into this, and again, after prototype 5 or so, I had this one, and this one then worked out. That's also the merge blocks that I'm not the biggest fan of. So hope some of the people recognize that I'm using them here for the good that all people think they are. Dang, merge blocks. No, here that's a thing where they definitely work out really well, where I wouldn't want to have just a connector up here. Could work out, but I think the merge blocks are a bit more precise, and you don't have a ship that then might rattle around in its compartment. That's a real good thing with the merge blocks up there. Good, people, but I think that's all for today. Saying that again, I hope you like the episode, although it's a bit of a short one, and I hope to see you in the next one. Give me some tips for this if you have, and let me know if you like it. And then, yeah, I would say see ya in the next video. See ya, guys.